What do you say when people ask you what's Chaminade about? What's it like?
It's the best. Absolutely the best. If I can sum it up in one word.
It's just a place committed to excellence. Everything that goes on here is meant to be the best version of it.
There's no excuses here. You know, get in there, work hard, make it happen. It's as big as you want to make it. You know, you can achieve anything here.
The 3 C's, obviously community, confidence, and commitment. What do they mean to you? I mean, it's one of the first things we learn, as we all know, in 3C Week. When you hear those, the 3 C's, what comes to mind for you all?
Community probably stands out mostly for us because it's such an important part of our life.
One of the things that's unique about Chaminade is the distribution of our students, you know, from eastern Suffolk to western Queens, and we even have a few from Brooklyn or Jersey. You know, it's over 70 school districts. To come to Chaminade there's a sacrifice, and I think we have to create that community aspect. And then from the community comes the confidence and the commitment. You know, once you feel like you belong, then the other two are gonna come pretty fast.
You know, day one, when they arrive, they're pretty timid, and as they move from spot to spot in the orientation program, they're all very quiet, and they don't know one another, and you're trying to get them to relax, and they're sitting there very rigidly and afraid. And by the end of the week, that's gone altogether, and they are having fun and telling jokes.
I think they all feel that by the end of that 3C experience, of realizing, okay, my background is different, but we're all going towards this common goal of greatness or excellence or whatever it is, you know.
And doing it together.
Yes,
Camaraderie,
absolutely. Yeah.
And again, I really can't say enough about the upperclassmen who volunteer, right? Because if you're an 8th grader coming in here a little bit nervous, and then all of a sudden you look at one of your senior leaders and you see how composed he is, you see how committed he is to this place, you see how proud he is. So I think the freshmen look at that and they say, okay, I can be like that guy, and that's pretty good. That's something I want.
No matter what you're interested in, whether it's soccer or video games or computer programming or music, there's a little community for you within the larger community. Just because you play lacrosse doesn't mean you wouldn't be hanging out with the kid that plays violin. There's a brotherhood here that lasts from the minute you come in 3C week to when you're celebrating your 40th birthday.
The years I spent doing yearbook, where we were all crammed into this little office from 3 to 6 p.m. with 10 guys at 8 computers and cranking out a 600-page yearbook. We had a lot of fun and we grew a lot, and that's where that bond that seeps into people as part of Chaminade. I think that comes from that I'm part of this, I'm part of a group, I'm united with these guys.
Those 3 C's, community, confidence, and commitment, they're not just something that we leave behind on the last day of the orientation week. They're 3 words that continue throughout the 4 years at Chaminade, and I would say even into alumni relationships. When I came into school my freshman year, I lacked confidence completely. I was very nervous. I thought everybody was smarter than I was. I certainly thought everybody was more athletic than I was, and that's accurate. I grew from a very, very timid freshman to a very self-confident senior. One of the things that happens, I think, as a Chaminade student goes through his 4 years is that he comes to a profound sense that he is known and loved. That is very much an important part of our Marianist tradition, our Marianist raison d'etre for running the school as well. Because ultimately that's an experience of God.
When you're sitting there as a student, you don't realize that if you're having an off day, the teacher notices, they come out of the classroom, shoot an email to their guidance counselor. The guidance counselor will then reach out to the kid later on and say, come down and see me today. And then just, hey, is everything all right? There are so many people watching your back as you go through the day here, and you just don't realize it as a student.
Yeah, I mean, if I can just flash back to 1997, and one of the questions is what's a great story from when you were here? And the thing that kept coming up in my mind is this moment in homeroom with Bill Carrero. My big dream was to go play college soccer, and I tore my ACL that summer, so I couldn't play my senior year. I was shattered, absolutely shattered. And I remember being in homeroom on my crutches and him coming over to me and just being like, how's it going? And I was, who is this guy? I don't know him that well, but the love that I felt just by the question, how are you doing? It was unbelievable, to the point where I remember it now. And the cool thing is that you know, 20 years later, I'm teaching physics across the hall from him, you know.
One of my good friends, his son's a freshman here, and I asked him about 2 weeks ago, is he enjoying it? He said, I don't think he would come home if it wasn't for the pandemic. He said he's getting so involved in the way that he can. He said, but I don't think we would see him. It's great to hear, right?
We often hear from parents of incoming freshmen how he loves to go to school.
Imagine that.
Yeah.